I need a volunteer to hold this, just hold it and make sure that, you see that thing that lets you know like noise is being made, like it's being recorded, just to make sure that that thing is still going, because we want to capture the audio of this. So let me ask you this, how many of you have ever felt like, how many of you have ever woke up and said, I don't feel like going to school today? Does that ever happen? That happens a lot, right? I kind of felt like that today. I didn't feel like coming. I was sick all last week, but this event was too important for me to let just a little bit of last week's cold stop me from coming. And then on top of that, as soon as I walk out the house, I hear a shot that nobody, I hear a sound nobody wants to hear. 5, 6 gunshots, right? As soon as I walk out the house. So there's another thing making me say, oh, I should just turn around. I don't know what's about to happen. People was running different ways, but I said, you know, well, when it's your time, there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to press on and come here anyway. So how many of you have ever felt like giving up on something? You get into something, right, and that's what happens. So today's lesson, very brief, is just going to be about never giving up and persisting. And the 3 young men that you're about to play, I think are the epitome, right, of persistence and never giving up. I want you all to look that word up a little bit later on. What word did I say?
Persistence.
Which one?
Persistence.
That too, but there was another one. I said epitome. Make sure you look that up. And so I will begin by saying this. Masters of the game, leaders by example. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the New York Times. An article that appeared back in 2011 that featured the young men that you're about to play when they were 12 years old and they had made the rank of master. And that's a feat that not many people accomplish. A lot of people don't make masters, but they certainly don't make it by 12. But all 3 of these young men became masters at the age of 12. Now, you all know I'm a journalist, and one thing a journalist has to do is set the record straight. And so for about 4 years, a lot of people have said, oh, this was Jamaal's idea, he brought these 3 here. I'm going to set the record straight today. It was my colleague, Jan Gordon. It was her idea, and I just kind of, so I want to give Jan a round of applause. Because she called that article to my attention, and then we kind of collaborated on there. But in any event, since that article appeared back in 2011, a lot of things have changed. If you think about where you were in 2011 and where you are now, I think we all can agree a whole lot has changed, right? But there's one thing that hasn't changed with the young men that you're about to play. For as long as they've been playing, for the past few years, they've been in the top 10, top 20 of chess players in the United States for their age. So think about that. Not only are these young men the best at what they do, but they've been the best at what they do for years. So let's give them a round of applause for staying. And the other reason I really wanted to be here today is anyone who has ever seen me at this event knows that I always ask James, Justice, and Josh this one question. Who knows the question I always ask? Has anyone been here before? Do you remember the question I always ask them? All right, or any of the, go ahead.
I think it's like, what's your rank?
Rank? Yeah, we get into that a little bit. What's the rank? Any other guesses? Any staff remember? All right. The question I always ask is, what do you plan to study in college? Where do you plan to go to college? Things of that nature, right? Because I've always said that this is about, the long-term strategy. And so we have a very, very, I just found this out right now. But let me ask, and we'll just see how this unfolds. Josh, tell me, where you headed to college next fall?
Webster University.
Western University. Justice, where are you headed to college next fall?
Webster University.
Western University. James, where are you headed to college next fall?
Webster University.
Western University. And the thing that's special about going to Western University, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but they have the best chess team in the nation, the best college chess team in the nation. And so you all going to Western on scholarships, right? All three on scholarships. So think about that. This is a school that wanted them to come to their school because of their abilities in chess. How many of you ever thought that maybe you could go to college for free because you're good at chess? Did you know that could happen? Right? So think about that. And really, let me say this. It's really not just about chess, but it's about being excellent at whatever you do. It might not be chess that gets you into college. It could be something else. But the most important thing, I think, is that you can learn from these three young men is that they put forth their best effort at being excellent. That's the reason that Webster University wanted them to come and be part of their chess team. So, like, I guess we got some basketball fans in here, right? Yeah. College basketball. So what are, like, the top college teams in basketball? Just throw some names out. Villanova, North Carolina, right. So Webster University, where they're headed, they're like the Villanova of chess. They're like the Duke of chess or the North Carolina of chess. So don't think that basketball is the only way that you might get a scholarship to college. You can get into college by controlling the art, those little plastic men you got right in front of you. If you know how to move those and strategize, that's something else that can get you into college. So let's just go just a little bit deeper. Tell me this. Josh, what are you planning to major in when you get to Webster?
I plan on studying computer science.
All right, computer science, right? A lot of jobs in computer science. Justin, tell me a little bit about what you plan to major in.
I want to do something around activism, so I'm going to major in communications.
All right, communications, right, which is kind of a field that I'm in. And then James, you're still kind of thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
All right. And so, and that's a good decision, because sometimes I changed my major in high school and in college 3 times. So it's okay to not know what you want to do your freshman year, because you'll figure it out. That's part of what college is for. And so the other thing that I ask, and then as soon as we do this last round of questions, then we'll get into the game here. So the other thing I always ask is, what's one of the most exciting things that have happened over the past year? What have you been up to over the past year? So, Josh, anything in particular that just stands out?
In December, I played in Las Vegas, and I got my first Grandmaster 1.
All right. So a round of applause for that. Right, so the next step is for him is to try and reach Grandmaster, right? He's already a master, he's trying to reach Grandmaster. And so Grandmaster norm means that he beat some people that are playing at the Grandmaster level. So if he does that 2 more times, then you won't be calling him Master Joshua, it'll be Grandmaster. All right. Justice, I saw something on my Facebook. People was telling me Justice is on TV. He's in some type of Cadillac commercial. Tell me a little bit about that. Cadillac just called you up and said, what happened?
Cadillac have been trying to get in touch with me for a while. And they found the organization I was affiliated with, Chess on My Seat. They contacted me, and they told me in like 2 weeks I was sent me out to LA, and I was shooting Cadillac.
So think about that. 1 minute you playing your game, chess, and next thing you know, Cadillac calls and says, we want you to be in the commercial. How many of you want to do a Cadillac commercial? Did they give you a Cadillac? All right. And so, and then I had a chance to talk to James a little bit before today's event. And James said he's been chilling. But you know what's interesting about that? Is that even with that chilling, he's still on top. So imagine that, where you put in so much work that you can sit back and focus on your studies and you're still on top. You're still considered one of the best in the nation. I don't know if there's something you might want to add. Beyond chilling. To me, chilling is perfectly fine. Listen, I studied hammock-ology before. You know what hammock-ology is? It's the science of lying in a hammock. I did that in Argentina once, so there's nothing wrong with relaxing and trying to get your mind straight for whatever it is, the next thing that you want to do. I made that word up. Hammock-ology is not a real word. Don't think that you can go to college and study hammock-ology.